Okay, I just wanted to make this video real quick because I have not found anything online about this on YouTube anyways, and even online I've gotten very frustrated because I wanted to use this rifle better and I can't because there's no information on it because nobody's done anything. So I'll make this real quick. If anybody likes it, then I will go into more detail about a lot of things you can do that don't cost really anything and get really far. So this is UMAREX Komplete, completely tore down except for the trigger, which is not much to it. You can adjust the trigger, but all it does is it does not adjust how hard you can pull the trigger. It just shortens the length of pull. So you can get this pretty much hair trigger, but it's just shortening the length of pull. Is pretty much takes away the first stage of the trigger when you do that. This is your probe or whatever it's called. Your handle goes into that, screws into there. There's your hand, your handle or cocking handle. That is the pin that goes in there that screws it in. This is your valve or poppet valve. I've shortened the spring on that and polished this up a little bit because it does seem to bind a little bit in there. So if you want to take some, 2000 grit sandpaper and just try to get in there and smooth out just a little bit right there, because there seems to be a few micro burrs in there. This is going to be a plenum idea. Don't really look at that too much. This is your hammer spring. Your best bet on this is honestly get a stronger spring. You can't really put more washers on it. There's not much you can really do to it. I went a little extreme and actually put some lead in the bottom of this to make this, quite a bit heavier and put a lot shorter and stronger spring in it. Due to that, and it does quite a bit, helps quite a bit actually, surprisingly. Turner regulator, you don't need to buy shims or do any of that kind of crazy stuff like the Ninjas. You literally just can screw it in a little bit more clockwise to tighten the shims in there, or counterclockwise to take pressure off the shims and get less psi. So you can probably get this easily over 2000 with just a little bit of a turn, but there's not much play in there with that, honestly. As far as the moderator silencer, however that goes, this is your barrel with the shroud off. There is a reason why the shroud is on there, because this is, even though it's a good barrel, really thick barrel, there's been quite a bit of machine marks on this where they've just ran through these really quickly and just spit them out by the thousands and thousands, obviously. Get the focus. There's just little chatter marks all the way, or mill marks from it. But it's a really thick barrel though, because I mean you can see there's quite a bit left still on that barrel. But at the end of it, why the moderator is hard to get off, like I was saying, is when you take the grub screw off, you have to put this in some kind of vise or something to brace it, and just literally pull back and twist it a little bit, and pull back and twist it a little bit. It's not actually threaded on there per se, but it just kind of seems to help the plastic kind of wedge itself on there just a little bit more. These little crosshatch marks on it. So there's not actually screwing it off or on necessarily. It's just kind of wedged on there. And so you just have to kind of twist it back and forth and twist it back and forth, and eventually it'll pop off. The only thing you could do is you definitely need to crown this, because this was actually sharp when it was, you could feel like a burr on the end of it almost. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to crown the end of the barrel for sure. As far as adding a different moderator, silencer, whatever you want to call it, you can actually see where the grub screw was right there, the very end of it, on the stock part. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head would be like the 2240 slip over style one, where it has a little grub screw on the bottom, and it just kind of keeps the thread on the very outside of it. That would probably be a possibility. Or if you measured it and see exactly how thick this is, you might actually be able to machine down and put some threads in it. I don't know. It'd be a lot more work than it's really worth, I guess. But that's how those things go on. Just standard, screws in your barrel. It's actually a pretty nice barrel. It's it says it's I think over 20 something 4 inches wide or whatever, but this is just like 18 and a half, if I'm not mistaken, or 18-inch barrel altogether. But with a few little modifications I've done, don't worry about it. I know it's not strong enough nearly. I'm just going to get over 1,000 psi to test the idea of it, to be able to get a gauge on the plenum side and add a lot more plenum, because I want to see how much more feet per second I can get out of it, because I've got it at 2,200 feet per second, right, or 2,200 psi with the regulator, and I still can't get over, 800 psi with some heavier slugs. So it's definitely just a situation of just not enough plenum volume, because I still need to machine that down. Don't look at that too much, but you don't have less than what's in here, barely what's in there, and the tiny bit that's in this for where your poppet valve is. So there's really only, I think, 12 cc's or something like that. I think what comes out to, or something like that. And it's plenum volume altogether. So just adding that alone will almost double it, if not triple it, I think, altogether. I'm going to shorten this and eventually get the air Venturi style one, or just a shorter version of this with a stronger thing. But I know those are rated for a lot more pressure than you think they are. Even these stock, they're at 900 psi. When these get hot, these can get up to over 1200 psi. So these are rated for well over 2000 psi safely. So even if I'm at 1800 psi, that's not even, half more of what, the regular pressure is. So it's not even that big of a deal, even the smaller pressures, but you still need something stronger safely. But I know people use this all the time. Those can easily hold 4000 psi or something like that. So it's not as dangerous as you might think. Just at 1200 psi to check that make sure that the valve is seated after adjusting it and all that stuff. Regular is. So that's kind of a shitty video, but as I said, I've never done this before, so, or I didn't say that before, sorry. Let me know if you want more information. I'll put it all together and do all that step by step, but I'm just curious to see if people are interested in this as much as I was, because I couldn't find anything, and it was very, very frustrating. So thank you.